Bridget Bartlett here with my vision agency, and today I'm going to show you how you can create an image slider inside the funnel builder, the website builder, and you can even do this inside of the email builder. So how cool is that? So let's actually get started today. First, if you look in the description of today's training, you will see the knowledge base article that we have to walk you through the steps in detail of how to use the image slider and edit it and all of those things that you're going to want to do. Okay. So you definitely can check all of that out. So let's actually start using the image slider. We're going to choose a funnel page. It's going to be the same whether you're using a funnel or you're using the website builder. I'm going to go ahead and click here to open in a new tab. So now we have a blank website, or we will as soon as it pulls up here. Right, so we have a blank website. We have a section here. Now we need to add a row. I'm just going to add one column here, and we're going to add the image slider element here. So you see, if you scroll down to media, you see image slider. We're going to go ahead and drag that over. And you'll see here the different slides that are already built in. Now, if you want to edit any of these slides, you want to add the image here, you can add a call to action here. You can choose, if you add the link, do you want that to open in the same tab or in a new tab? You can choose to optimize the images. You can choose what size the slider is. You can also choose the margin and padding. And if you're in the desktop version, this will default to the desktop. But if you switch over to the mobile version, you'll see that it switches over to the mobile version here. So you can adjust those, adjust it. For example, let's say that we want this to be, uh, well, this is kind of a bad example because it's the only thing on there. But let's say that for the padding, we wanted maybe 80. You can see now it's adding space there. So you can add padding. You can also add space in between this and the element. So that's the difference between the margin and the padding. So the padding, you see this image slider element, it's all in green, right? So you saw when we added padding, it added the space inside the green element. But if we add the margin, it adds the space between this element and the next element. Okay, so that's basically how all of that works. All right. So let's go back now to the desktop version, and you'll see here, of course, you can adjust the margins. Like I said, you can adjust the borders. So if you want to add a border here, like let's say, let's add a red border, and we want it to be maybe we want it to be a thickness of 10, and maybe we want to round off the corners there, so we can do that. And we can even change the style. So if you want the thick line there, or if you want it to look like this, totally up to you. You can also add a box here if you want to add a little dimension and shadow. And then you have the pagination, is that how you pronounce it? But that is what this looks like here. So when you are sliding over, or you're seeing a selection of the options here, you'll see these are like little circles. We change that, it goes into squares, and then we have lines here. Okay. And of course, you can change the active color. So if we want that, let's just change it. When I do these demonstrations, I like to choose really crazy colors that don't make any sense so that you can see the difference. And that's actually what I do when I'm trying to figure something out too. So if you didn't know what these mean, you can just change the color, and now you'll see the active one is yellow and then the inactive are blue. So that's what those settings are for. You also have the size here. So we want to make that a little bit bigger. You can do that. If we want to make it really big, we can do that. You also have the slide arrows. So do you want to show them or not? You can actually toggle them off. And when you do toggle it off, you'll see there's no other options here. But if you include them, then you have the option to elevate. So when you hover over it, it elevates or it glows. Let's just leave it on glow. And then you also have the slide animation. So do you want it to slide? Do you want it to fade in? Or do you want it to erase in? Let's keep it on erase in, and then we'll just see what that looks like when we see the demo. And then, of course, you have the auto animate the slides. So if you do remove these, you definitely want to at least have some way of moving through the slides. So if you don't want them to manually be able to do that, you can just turn that off, and then or I'm sorry, if you want to turn the arrows off, you just want to make sure that you at least have this, right? So you can do an infinite loop. You can pause when they hover over it. You can choose to show this on desktop or mobile. If I didn't want this to show on mobile, I just uncheck that box there. And then if I switch on over to mobile, you'll see that it's not available. I'm going to go ahead and turn that on. And then, of course, if you want to add some custom CSS, you can do that as well. So what can you actually use this image slider for? Okay. So I'm going to, let's save again. Let's look at the live view so you can actually see what this looks like and what is even the purpose, okay? So you see we have the arrows here and it helps us to slide through different images. Now, these are just images and that's great if you have like a portfolio or something that you just want to show the images of. But what if you have like I love to share videos, right? So what if you have a video or what if you have like a special offer that you want to promote, okay? You can actually just go to Canva here. And for the sake of this training and consistency, I'm just going to choose a YouTube thumbnail. And if we choose like let's choose a design here. Let's say this one here. And let's say this is our YouTube thumbnail. Now, of course, there's nothing on there that says click. So let's just go ahead and add our own little clickable element. And let's make this like pretty obvious so that they can see it. Okay. We could even make it yellow and make it a brand color if we want to. So now we have like the video cover. So if I want to download this, okay, and then we want to upload it here in our image gallery, we would just go, let me just save that there. And we would just go, we're clicking on the image and we want to scroll down here. I'm sorry, we need to be in general. We're going to go to that exact slide. You can see when we hover over it, it's in blue. And then here's where we want to edit that. So I'm just going to click here to open up our media gallery. And then I'm going to drag in this thumbnail that we just created. So I'm going to double click there. And now you see we have our thumbnail. Now, if we want to change the size of this, which we probably would, even though that does look pretty decent, we can see what is the size of this image. Okay, so if I go to resize, what is this size actually? I think it is 1080. I know there's a way that you can tell here also. I think it's 1080 by 720. Why do I not know that? Okay. Anyway, what we want to do then is we would just want to go down here and let's say it is, I cannot remember the size of this, but let's say it's 1080 by 720. Then we can just crop that and then make it look good. I'm actually just going to delete this because it looked pretty good on its own. Okay. So now let's save that just because we've done some work. Now, let's say that we want to go to a YouTube video, and that's what we're creating here. We're creating basically a showcase of maybe a YouTube playlist that we want to promote or an offer, or maybe on one slide, we want to have a YouTube playlist. On another slide, we want to have like a demo video that we're linking out to that's on a page. Maybe we want to have like a booking calendar. Maybe we want to have a special offer and a discount. You can make this image slider anything that you want because all you need to do is create the image and put a clickable link here, right? So if I wanted to make this go out to a YouTube video, okay, then I'm just going to do that link there. And of course, I would want to open in the same tab. I always suggest if you don't really know whether you want to do the same tab or a new tab, if you're ever sending them outside of your website to do something, you want to do it in a new tab. That way they can always come back to your website really easily. And then of course, if it's just going to another page on your website, then that's fine. I would have it open in that same tab. Okay, so let's actually look at the live version of this. So now you can see we have our slider image here. We can go back and forth, sliding between, and then if I click that button, it goes to YouTube. Okay, so how super, super cool is that when you are trying to promote many offers in one small area, okay? Now, the next thing, if you go to our knowledge base at help.myvisionagency.com, you'll see if you search for slider that there's actually two options here. You can use the slider in the funnel and website builder. You can also use the image slider in the email builder, and you'll see step-by-step instructions of how to do that as well. But if you just go to the email builder and let's say, let's just choose a template. We'll just create a new template. I'm going to start with a blank one. We'll use the design editor because that's the drag and drop builder. And what we want to do is scroll down until we see the image slider. And this is going to be basically the same process here. Okay, so we would add, you can actually use the AI to create an image, or we want to just add this image here. Okay, so now we have that. And of course, we'd want to add our link. And since this is a email, we could actually even add a trigger link here. So if I just wanted to add the link, I'd type it in, but we could also go to the contacts. It's actually not there. Where's my trigger links? Okay, I thought we could add a trigger. Maybe we can't add trigger links at this point yet. But I'm sure that that is going to be possible if it's not already. So I don't want to waste all your time because if you guys have watched any of my videos, you know that I'm like so OCD. I will obsessively, compulsively check that out to see if I can figure it out. And I don't want to waste your time doing it live. But you see the point here. And then, of course, in this email, if we go to preview what this looks like, preview the template, you see here, it looks so super nice. And then your email recipient can just toggle through according to like YouTube playlists or any of your offers there. Super, super cool. It's like basically putting a website and an email. That would be a super good footer to many different emails, especially your community. I just thought of that just off the top of my head. Okay. So once you paste the link in there, of course, you have the same padding settings. You can make the corner radius. You can make it like that. You can enable the thumbnail, which we have already got a thumbnail here, but you can enable the thumbnail radius. Also the border color, the hover border color. If we wanted it to be that, that would be like when they hover over that. And then the selected border, include the arrows. You want the, for example, chevron left or chevron right. That's these arrows here. If you wanted to toggle those off, you just do that. Okay. So super, super cool. And then, of course, if you did create this and you wanted to save it so you don't have to create this over and over and over again, all you need to do is just click here in the element, and then you'll be able to grab that again here on the side. You'll see your element there. Okay. Or so you can just drag it into any website that you want to, um, or any email template that you're building so you don't have to recreate that slider all over again. Okay. So super cool inside of HighLevel. Now, if you guys have any questions at all, feel free to join me in open office hours that are going to start as soon as we end this training. If you're a member of our reseller program or our software bundle, or you are a member of our entry level community, you do have access to open office hours. You can join me. Just go into the community, go to the events tab, and you'll see today's date. You just want to open that up there and then click, and you'll be able to join me right into the Zoom room. If you would like to join our free community or resell any of our other software, for example, if you want to sign up to resell HighLevel and get a free membership in a reseller program, you can choose that option. You can also sign up for our reseller program to resell our AI Ads Manager. You can sign up for our software bundle, which is all of our tools in one place. If you just want to use the tools and not be a reseller, you can also join our free community here and book a private consultation with me if you prefer. Thank you all so, so much for joining me, and I will see you tomorrow.